Allah destroys all of those people. But no Muslim would dare to say that those prophets failed. Why? It's not just because they believe that it's haram or that it's wrong, or they cringe at it. It's also because when they start thinking beyond the fact it's haram, they start to think, wait, why am I saying these prophets didn't fail? It's because you come to the conclusion that their duty was not to deliver the outcome. Their duty was to keep striving and mobilizing in the hope that they might be the vehicle to achieve the outcome. The same way that when you're talking to UK Muslims and you presented your question as, we might not have the same impact, you don't know what impact we might have because we haven't tried to mobilize. We've never tested our power. We don't know the value of the Muslim vote yet because we've never, as an organized bloc, actually mobilized to try to achieve something. In Tower Hamlets, there are 4 or 5 Muslim candidates. Imagine if there was one Muslim candidate and they all rallied behind one. Nobody would win in Tower Hamlets. In other constituencies, it's the same. If there were one Muslim candidate instead of 3 or 4, nobody would be able to beat the Muslim candidate in that constituency. We've never actually tried to do so. And that's why I think that Islam, in the way that it's a religion of action, is that Allah rewards action. When you mobilize, that's when Allah opens the opportunities for you. That's when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala amplifies and makes that reward. And that's why I think that sometimes when we're discussing about the US politics or the UK politics, it's important to note here that what I'm saying is not that we will punish Biden or even that we will punish Keir Starmer. We may not, Jalal. Allah may have written that it's not to be. But that's not for me to decide. My point is, I see an opportunity in front of me. It's up to me to decide whether I want to take it or not. And I ask Allah to guide us in the way that we take that opportunity and try to maximize that as well. And there are some who will listen to this, and this is why I wanted to finish on this particular point, because this is the message that I want to leave every Muslim who thinks about this. Because many people say, what if Trump comes? What if this happens? It's all what ifs. But Allah is in control of the what ifs. I have a battle in front of me. The battle in front of me is I saw 20,000 Palestinians genocide. And I've seen genocide live streamed in my lifetime. I've seen ethnic cleansing live streamed in my lifetime. I saw a world that told me that human rights mattered. I saw them throw it out the window just because the Palestinians don't look the way they do. I saw the world throw out international law that it implemented on everybody but itself. I saw the Western world go and throw out the laws and the cases just to facilitate that ethnic cleansing and genocide. I saw the Western world that preached freedom impose restrictions and repression because it was terrified that freedom would result in sympathy for the Palestinians. I saw the greatest hypocrisy of the century right before my eyes. And I'm supposed to sit down and say what ifs. There's a battle before me that we have to fight. It's the war of narratives. Don't tell me what if. I see a man who committed genocide. I see a man who facilitated it. I see a man who supported the ethnic cleansing. And somebody is telling me, what if somebody is worse? Am I supposed to let him continue with his second term after massacring the people like this? What justice on earth, what interest, self-interest on earth would lead anybody to consider that there is a just scenario that allows him to win that second term? How can it even be a discussion? And that's why when people say to me, look beyond what if, the story of Surah Al-Kahf between Musa and Khidr, alayhim as-salam, is that when Khidr knows the unknown of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, know that Musa is told by Allah that Khidr knows unknown knowledge. That doesn't stop Musa from rebuking Khidr, because Musa sees only what's in front of him and does his duty based on what's in front of him. Allah will deal with the unknown. When Khidr goes and he puts the hole in the boat of the people of the poor people, and Musa says, why are you doing this? You're doing an injustice. Musa is doing it based on what he sees. I've seen genocide. I will do what Musa alayhi salam did. Because Khidr, that was a relation between him and Allah. I'll do what Musa did and I will stand against the genocide, Joe. Because I tell you what the outcome every Muslim should seek. It's not perfection in this dunya. For Allah would not be Ghafur Rahim if the aim was perfection. Allah would not be the forgiving, would not have named himself the forgiving or the one who accepts repentance if it was perfect. The greatest outcome a Muslim can have, and the honor that Gaza has given us, the honor Gaza has given us, is Gaza has given us the chance, all of us, the chance to be vehicles to bring about this change. Vehicles to make a difference. Ya Muhammad Jalal, when I see that public opinion has had such a sweeping impact on the position of nation states. I am proud and honored that you brought me to Thinking Muslim podcast, and that I believe, even if it's just an atom, I believe we contributed to that. I believe that when I see that public opinion is making the Democrats panic, and I know it wasn't bin Salman, who through Gaza has launched his dog fashion show and brought Shakira and is planning to bring Iggy Azalea and all these other sports. I know it wasn't him who brought the change. I know it was the ordinary Muslim who mobilized. When people talk about fatigue, I don't understand it, because you're seeing the change that's being made. I believe Gaza gave us the honor to be vehicles. And the reason why I say this is that I believe that every Muslim, when they look at what's happening in Gaza, when they believe they don't have the power, they should remember one thing, that the ultimate aim of a Muslim is not perfection in this dunya. It's being able to look the Prophet Muhammad in the face on the day of judgment when you enter Jannah and say, Ya Rasulullah, I didn't have the powers I wish I had, but I still kept going. And this is the scenario I imagine. I hope one day, inshallah, that the ultimate outcome for every Muslim is that when we're lying on our deathbeds and the soul leaves our body, and it may well be that we die in the middle of another genocide, seeing another genocide unfold. We die through tears that we weren't able to stop it or weren't able to do anything else. We may die and say, Ya Rab, I'm leaving a world that is even more horrific and disgusting than the one I left it. And you weep, even though through your life you kept striving, mobilizing, shouting, tweeting, charities, you going up around the country trying to mobilize. You're saying 50 different things and people won't listen to you, or they're like, Ya Allah, I tried, like Nuh, da'awtu qawmi layla wa nahara wa lam yazidhum du'ai illa firara. You lie on your deathbed and you think, Ya Allah, I didn't achieve anything. When your soul leaves your body, at least Muhammad Jalal, you won't hear, Ya ayyatuha nafsul khabitha. You won't hear, oh, disgusting soul, soul that did nothing, soul that sat at home, soul that told people there's no point, soul that said the system was rigged, soul that said, oh, what you're doing, there's no point in doing that, or soul that you will hear instead, Ya ayyatuha nafsul mutma'inna. Oh, beautiful, sweet smelling soul. Oh, lovely soul that kept striving even when the odds were against you, that kept speaking even when the world was against you, that kept making effort after effort even when you never saw its fruits, that kept going and telling people to keep going even though you felt that you wouldn't see the outcome in your lifetime. That you kept going even through the despair, even through the heartbreak, even when you felt that it was futile. You kept going and you kept mobilizing only because you believed that Allah was in charge of the outcome and victory was eventually coming, and that alone was worth mobilizing and worth moving. The angels will say, guys, there is a sweet, I don't know if they say guys, but the angels will say there is a sweet smelling soul that is coming up. This is a soul that kept striving, that kept mobilizing even though they never saw the outcome. So let me tell you, ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية. Allah is pleased with you. As you're going up, Allah is pleased with you. فادخلي في عبادي وادخلي